There he is. Welcome to Writer's Block, and he's wearing the hat, which we will get to in just a moment. I'm Rex. He's Lab. This is Writer's Block, and we're doing kind of a PostMasters pre-RBC Heritage thing, so you guys stick with us. Lab, we're going to start with the Heritage. I know that's not where you wanted to start, but who's going to get, let's call it a PostMasters bump this week?
I'm wearing the hat. You're wearing the crow's nest shirt.
Yeah.
We certainly have a lot to get into. PostMasters. For PostMasters bump, I'm going to go with Shane Lowry. Rex, T3 at the Masters has really continued his good play over the past 4 or 5 months. You look at just stroke play events, he has finished inside the top 15 in every event since last October. Top 10s at Harbour Town, great iron player, very tidy scrambler. I think Shane Lowry wouldn't surprise me at all if he continues his good form this week on Hilton Head Island.
He has been playing well. I'm going with another guy who is playing well, but probably didn't have his best stuff at the Masters, was Dustin Johnson. Coming in, you felt like he turned a corner. He played really well at the match play a few weeks ago, and really it comes down to his putting when you talk about Dustin Johnson. And it's funny, I remember a couple years ago writing a story about Dustin because he always plays Hilton Head. It's his home game.
RBC
connection, all those things, but it was never a good fit for him. But I feel like a couple years ago, something turned around. There was a spark. I feel like he could play well on that golf course. Speaking of sparks,
he didn't really hit it all that straight at Augusta National, and then he's going to have to thread the needle here at a claustrophobic golf course.
Probably. But I'm going to go back to the idea. This one kind of means a little bit more to him, and we have seen something out of him over the last couple of weeks. I feel like he's ready to turn a corner and finally get that first victory of this season. All right, speaking of sparks, who needs a spark this week at Harbour Town?
Rex, I feel like I've jinxed Patrick Cantlay ever since I dropped 3,500 words on him and a 7-minute TV feature. He has not played particularly well. He's coming off what was another disappointing major, T39. At the Masters last week. He said it was the most difficult Masters that he has played in his career, but he has really struggled in the major championships, and it does not make sense whatsoever. For a guy who has as complete of a skill set as Patrick Cantlay does, he has just 2 career top 10s in majors. It's absolutely baffling to me. He's certainly cooled a little bit over the past couple of events. Last 4 events has not gone for a top 10. This is kind of a get right spot to me at Harbour Town. It kind of plays into his hands of having to be really precise, very small greens. He does have a couple of good finishes here with 3 top 7s. So Patrick Cantlay is kind of in that get right spot in need of a spark.
He has done nothing since you dropped 3,500 words and probably an award-winning feature on Live from. And then on top of that, you introduced him at the Golf Writers Dinner last week. You got the Hoggard Award.
Played terribly. I mean, what's going on?
My guess is he's going to listen to this and think to himself, please, Ryan, keep my name out of your mouth.
Stop talking about me. Keep my name out of your mouth.
That would have been classic if that's the way it would have worked out. Just came up and laid you out like Chris Rock. I'm going to go, and I'm surprised on this one. I actually told Haley you were going to go with Jordan Spieth. So, and I'm going to pick Jordan. Again, very disappointing Masters. And when you look at
first miscut.
I mean, when you look at what he did early in his career, and I kind of made this joke last week, but it's fascinating to me that through his first 3 Masters, it didn't look like he was going to win one. It looked like he was going to win all of the green jackets. I think, what did he go? He went third in his first 3 Masters, and it looked like he just had the recipe to that place, and he missed the cut last week, which I'm sure was disappointing. He has not had a finish better than tied for 22nd since his runner-up at Pebble Beach earlier this year, where we felt like he turned a corner. This is probably a golf course where he can go out, and that short game and his imagination will suit him well, but he needs some sort of a spark after what he did last week. All right, we're going to get to the elephant in the room, which is your round of golf on Monday. You got pulled in the lottery. You're wearing the lid. That's a club lid. Let everyone inside. If you know, you know. So at the Masters, you buy Masters gear. And then after that week's over, they have Augusta National gear. You got to sneak inside the pro shop, get some goodies. How was the round, first and foremost?
So this was the second time that I played Augusta National, and just like when I played in 2012.
Wow, humble brag. Way to work that in there. Very good.
I played like an absolute dog. The over-under that we had on the podcast was 86.5. I was slightly over, shot 88. Did not play well, but I was absolutely floating out there, Rex. This has to be the greatest perk in sports writing history, does it not, to have a media lottery to play one of the most famous golf courses in the world, literally a bucket list item for anybody. You and I, Rex, have both been plagued by elbow pain, right? We have either golfer's elbow, tennis elbow, something popped up for me on the range. I knew it was going to be really tough to get at it when we saw that tight turf. And I will say, and you've played this golf course, one of the most underappreciated aspects of Augusta National is that the terrain is so rolling and undulating that you can still kind of be screwed even from the middle of the fairway. I noticed this time that you could be in the middle of the fairway, but your ball will settle into like a little hollow, and you'll have this weird sort of downhill, side hill lie, even though when you would think that you were in absolute prime position. For a highly skilled golfer, the Scotty Schefflers, the Cam Smiths, the Justin Thompson, Rory McIlroys of the world, they handle that shot with no issues whatsoever. For people like you and I, 5, 10 15 handicap, in your case, it is a very difficult shot. Hitting from a downhill side hill lie back up to an uphill green, struggled with it all day. It was definitely a struggle bus.
Makes you appreciate what Tiger Woods did just a little bit more, how difficult that must have been on that right leg after everything.
Oh, so sore. I was sore driving home. I was sore yesterday.
And you're a young man.
And I am a young man. I'm not in particularly good shape, but at least I have 2 healthy legs, unlike Tiger Woods. All respect. Tip of my club cap to you, Tiger Woods.
And I'm going to do this quick because I know Haley wants us out of here. Give me the highlight quickly of the round and the low light.
Highlight was kick and birdie on number 9. Nice. Low light, absolutely butchered number 7, even though I absolutely love that hole.
7 is my most favorite hole.
It's a great hole, but boy, is it tough. I mean, the fairway is so tight. Those corridors, everything kicks on the right. I had a field day over there on the right, sculled a wedge over the green, had absolutely zero chance. And then, of course, I also rinsed it on 12.
You weren't the only person who ever does that. So you and Jordan.
I got Cam Smith on 12.
Yeah, Jordan Spieth on 12. I see what happened. All right, rapid fire. We got to make these quick. Davis Love named 2 of his assistant captains to the U.S. President's Cup team this week. It's Zach Johnson and Freddie Couples. I thought Freddie Couples had a lifetime appointment at that job. I did not know that. Who should be? He has 2 more picks as assistant captains if he chooses them. Who should those picks go to?
Tiger is a no-brainer for me. He's not going to qualify for the team, and I wouldn't think that they would pick him with one of the 6 selections that Davis Love is going to have. So Tiger is a no-brainer. Steve Stricker, if he's healthy, just for continuity's sake, makes a lot of sense. But I think, Rex, you have to go to the next generation. You have to fill out these guys to fill out these next 5-10 years. Maybe Matt Kuchar is that player. Obviously a friend of Davis Love. They've gone back 15, 20 years. He played on 9 Cup teams. How about Matt Kuchar filling out the rest of the team?
I like that.
Staff, I should say.
Because the way they do this, it's sort of, they set up a legacy, right? So Zach Johnson served as an assistant captain a few times. Now he's going to be the captain of the Ryder Cup team. So we do need to get some fresh blood in there. So I like that. All right, this one's going to, I don't know how I'm going to answer this.
Who's going to do it?
No, I like Kuchar. I like Kuchar. I would just, again, my bigger thing is let's just name Freddie an assistant captain to every American team going forward and just use that as a starting point in the conversation. No? Yes?
No, that's fine. I mean, this is his 4th consecutive, I believe, for vice president or vice captain after being captain three times. I mean,
just put him on the team. Everybody wants to hang around Freddie.
Not the Ryder Cup, but the President's Cup, where it's a little bit more.
No, I think he should be in the Ryder Cup as well. What do we need to make the Ryder Cup more tense? Absolutely not. What he brings to the team room is exactly what the Ryder Cup needs.
Whatever they did in 2021, do it again.
I agree with that. So Steve Stricker should probably be in the mix somewhere because he seemed to have brought something to the mix. We're moving on. Most underrated tour stop. Have no idea where I'm going with this. What do you got?
I can't wait to see what you just wrestling with yourself for this one. For me, it is Memphis. This has transitioned from a regular tour stop that was played the week before the U.S. Open. Then it became a World Golf Championship event. And now it is the kickoff event for the PGA Tour's FedEx Cup playoffs. I say that not because of the heat and humidity, which I know that you love so much, but because of the food. I gained like 5 to 10 pounds last year, mapped it all out where I was going to go. It's all within 20 or 30 minutes of the golf course. Memphis, absolutely love Memphis and all the food offerings in that great city.
I thought about Memphis, but we talk about it a lot. And clearly my answer is going to be the RSM Classic because that's my fifth major. Of course it was going to be. But I did wrestle with it because this week being Hilton Head, it's such a special time. To go from Augusta to Hilton Head, I can't put enough of a fine point on this, that you go from probably the event where you have the most scrutiny the most rules and the most stress to the event that probably on the PGA Tour where you have none of that. So I think just weighing those two, it's hard for me to not say Hilton Head, but I think the cat's out of the bag on Hilton Head. So I'm going to say anyone that's never played the RSM Classic, I'm talking to you, Rory McIlroy, add it to your list because it is the most underrated.
Maybe Tiger's going to play the RSM this year after your recommendation.
It would be a good one for him. It's a flat golf course. It's usually pretty warm. I think that's probably a very good option for him. Moving on, give me a potential offbeat winner this week in Hilton Head.
Yeah, we've seen some weird ones over the years at this tournament that you love so dearly. I'm going to go. I'm not sure if he's. I mean, how offbeat do we want to go here? I'm going to go with Chris Kirk. 3 straight top 15s at one point this spring. He's a familiar face around these parts. I don't feel strongly about it, but he would kind of fit in that category of offbeat winner, would he not?
I think so, because I kind of went in a similar direction. We both picked Georgia Bulldogs, so I don't know what that says about me or you. I think it's predictable for you, surprising for me. Kevin Kisner is who I went with. Kevin Kisner, he played well last week. Well, yeah, I don't know how you want to define this. I mean, obviously, it's a very, very good golf course for Kevin Kisner. This is the kind of place where he shows up thinking he's going to win. And he's also coming off of, I think it's his best finish ever at the Masters. So he is playing well. We all know what he did just a few weeks ago at the match play. So I think Kevin Kisner, you're not buying the offbeat.
This is you just trying to score another invite to Palmetto, which in advance,
and you're blaming
thank you very much. Kevin Kisner, this is like one of the 6 or 7 golf courses throughout the course of the year that he plays terrific every single time. How is this offbeat? How is this offbeat?
Offbeat. All right, we're going to finish strong. What's on the grill this weekend?
Everything. After 11 days away, I made smash burgers last night. I sent you one of those snappy chats about that. I'm making salmon tonight. We're doing surf and turf for my belated birthday celebration. We're doing chicken thighs.
Happy birthday.
I'm doing a smoked lamb for Easter, and I have a new grill that we will talk about next week on the podcast. It is a Hasty Bake Legacy 131. Hauled that 200-pounder to my backyard last night. Super excited to fire up, get that thing seasoned. This will be a very lengthy discussion on the podcast, I'm sure.
The idea of you trying to haul that thing by yourself to the backyard, 200
pounds, screaming in agony,
falling down. You're already sore because you walked 18 holes at Augusta.
Sweaty. I'm laying down like the cardboard box that would roll easier on the grass. It was a pathetic sign, but I did get it in the backyard, unscratched, and it is ready to be seasoned.
All right. I am actually grilling as we speak, so I don't know if that's
smoking. You're smoking. Yeah, you're smoking right now. I see the smoke pluming. What are you making?
It's my pit barrel cooker. I'm doing a pork butt, so we're going to do carnitas. We're going to do pulled pork tacos tonight with the family. Everyone's excited, so that's what I got going on this weekend. I think I'm just going to go with ribs, just because I haven't done ribs in a while, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to say this: the pit barrel is too easy. It makes it too easy to do this because I just put that on an hour ago, and I won't look at it again for another 3 or 4 hours because I have the probes in.
You're gonna need. All right, it is about 1 o'clock Eastern time. You better speed up that cooking process, or you're going to be eating dinner at about 11 o'clock.
I think we're good. I got the probes in. We're moving along at a good pace. That'll do it for this week's Sure. Writer's Block. Check us out Sunday night. Recap everything from this week's Heritage.